Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to take a little time and I'm going to give you my long-term observations, overview, and review of the Divo Knives Pony Stout. But before I get started, if you guys would, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon next to it. Both of those would help me out a whole bunch. So the Divo Knives Pony Stout is we'll call it a mini version of the original Divo Knives Stout that was a premium knife OEM by QSP, a little bit longer than this knife. And then, because its success was so well received and people were asking for a smaller knife, Kevin and Colin and Divo Knives decided to partner with Kubi on a more budget-minded pony stout or a smaller stout. And guys, I will tell you that this is every bit, to me, a medium-sized knife. So if I just use the handle, I can get a full four-finger grip behind the little knob in there. But the way that this handle and this choil are integrated, that's the way the knife is designed and ergonomically set up to be held. So I think it's a fantastic job on a medium-sized knife or smaller-sized knife that carries like a much bigger knife. This knife is 14C 28N and it's done in micarta. It's a really nice micarta that's got good texture here. It does have a reversible pocket clip. Kind of funny story, when these shipped out, you might have heard Kevin talk about it. Kubi had forgot to put in the screw for this opposite side of where the pocket clip is. They just left it with a hole. So Kevin and them had to scramble and get Kubi to send out, I think it was, I forget how many hundreds of screws. So that was included in my box. A lot of people I saw in their reviews thought it was extra hardware, but it's just simply that screw that allows you to switch that clip and have a matching screw on the back side. But this knife is put together very well. It is, and I'm glad to report, a knife that utilizes T8 hardware all the way around. It is has my favorite pivot. I love the Divo Knives pivot. I know they're phasing that out in some of their more premium knives, but I really think it looks elegant there. This blade, this 14C 28N blade, is a deep hollow grind, something I was not expecting when I ordered this. I kind of ordered this right after the drop. You guys might have seen my unboxing. I was in a meeting when the knife dropped, and about an hour after, I was going to originally get the Stonewash blade with the micarta, and it was sold out. So I jumped on the Black-Wash with the micarta. I'm stoked I did because I like the look of the knife. I like the knife. But let's grab some of my Pew Pew Digest. And as you can tell, this little pony stout came from Kubi, extremely sharp. And I don't know if you can hear the lack of sound as it passes through that material, but that just tells me that there's very little resistance on that edge. Whoops. So very slicey, very thin, nice blade geometry. The way that it's done, it's about a 3/4 hollow grind where you've got your flat to about the bottom of this deployment hole, and then you've got a 3/4 hollow right here that comes down to just a very sharp edge. And this deployment hole is done very well. As you guys might or might not know, I am no good at thumb flicking. This hole is what I kind of call the foolproof hole. It hits that sweet spot into where my middle finger, if I do a reverse flick, the whole size so that I can get good traction in it without the hot dog down the whole hallway scenario like I got a couple of times with the growler, and I've shown you guys on a lot of other knives. It's something that can easily be overcome by just where you place your finger, But the Pony Stout is very intuitive to where I do not have to think about where I place my finger. I just put it, finger or thumb, in that fuller and it deploys. The detent is done very well. It fires out and you can hear it snap down right there. No detent lash. Just a really well done budget knife, guys. And for me, as y'all know, a budget knife is $100 or less. This knife, if I'm not mistaken, and I very possibly am, was $80 before I used my Lefty 10 or Tri-State 10 or whoever's codes you want to use, who's got a code at White Mountain Knives, and got 10% off, which brought it down to I think about 72 bucks out the door. But for me, as a guy who buys very few budget knives, I'm bringing them into the channel now because I know for years and years it's all I bought, and I know that they're very popular, and I still like to see what's out there and what's good. And guys, I can tell you this little Pony Stout is very good. So much so that I reached out to Kevin after I got it to see if they had any plans for doing a more premium version like the original Stout. I'll let him tell you when he decides to tell you about that. But I'm really stoked with this little knife. I've carried it now for going on a couple of weeks. It rides in the pocket almost effortlessly. And I like the wire clip. It works for me, especially in an urban EDC environment. But this will take my Lynch wire replacement clip. I don't have a black one in the house. That's why it's not wearing one. And I really do like the functionality of the wire clip. It goes in and out of pocket very easy. And the micarta here is smooth enough to where it's not going to grab my pocket. But I love the look of this little knife closed. I think it looks really menacing in a way. And then opened, I think it looks very good. I think it's just a cool knife. I didn't understand this swoon or this swedge in the original Stout, but in this particular Pony Stout, it is a fantastic place to put your finger. If you're doing detail cuts, it just naturally works there. So yeah, guys, I am really impressed with the Pony Stout. I think it will go in my top 5 depending on how the year finishes out when we do our final budget knife shootout, because for me, again, a budget knife's $100 and less, or we'll say less than $100. And I think this little guy is, from an action standpoint, from a utility standpoint, from a way it cuts, way it feels in the hand, way it carries, and the overall utility of the knife make it one that's definitely should be in the conversation. So let's do a couple of quick size comparisons before we get some measurements. That is it next to the Cold Steel Formax. And that is it alongside the Civivi Baby Banter. Smaller than the Formax, bigger than the Baby Banter. Let's check it out next to the Benchmade Bug Out. It's going to be smaller than our Bug Out. And right in within a RCH of the Baby Bug Out, guys. So mini Bug Out size is about what she comes in at. And that translates to, if we look at the easy to read Javon promotional tape measure, the overall length of this knife is right over 6.5, right under 6 3/4, right between the two. And the blade length is 2 3/4. Whoops. Right at 2 3/4, a little bit more. The handle length is 3 3/4. To that choil, you're right under 4 inches. So if you say 3 3/4, you've got plenty of room from here to here at 3 3/4, and it's really right under 4 inches. So lastly, guys, we'll get a couple of thickness measurements and a weight, and I'll give you my final thoughts. .121, 0.02, 0.441 in the handle thickness, so under a 1/2 inch. Nice thin handle. And just drop shut action, guys. Drops to my thumb and then drop shut. Not that that matters, but just thought I'd point that out. Comes in right at an even 3 ounces. So my final thoughts. What do I think about the Divo Knives Pony Stout? Guys, I did not buy a stout. It didn't appeal to me. It was a little bigger for me. It was just a knife that, again, for some reason, it did not attract me. This little knife, when I first started seeing it, when Kevin first started showing it, did attract me. I wasn't sure what to expect for the price point. I didn't know how good it would be. I was, just like all you guys, I wasn't sure. And my particular specimen is awesome. I mean, this knife is a fantastic knife. I could recommend it to any of my friends. I could recommend it to any of my family members. If I lost it, if it was gone tomorrow, even though I don't carry budget knives that often, I would buy another one because I like it that much. That's the Divo Pony Stout by Divo Knives. It's available exclusively through White Mountain Knife Works. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have their link left in the description. I think they've got some of the Black G10 still in stock. Guys, I would urge you to get one if you're looking for a knife that's a sheep's foot, that's in this basic styling, right? If you're not looking for that kind of knife, it's not for you. But if it appeals to you, I can assure you that it's functional, it's good, it works well, and I've really enjoyed it. Guys, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing and hit that like button if you've been so inclined. And please, thank you for looking out for the guy or girl to your left. Look out for the guy or girl to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.